Bless me. Bless me. Bless me. Never did that word. Bless you. Bless you. Now, if you're calculating bless you, right, calculate bless you to the face, or you can calculate it to the poles. There are 3 poles. 2 of them can be used as a ring, and 3 poles equals 6 equals 3, and 3 poles reversed. Obviously, right? 3 poles, 3 reverse the cube, and then when you have the ring, you have 2 and 2 reverse. And when you have the 3 poles, you actually have all 6. You have all 6 sides of the dice. So you're actually going to talk about 1 equaling to 2, 2 equaling to 4, and 3 equaling to 6. I have a little indigestion. I'm drinking a little bit of tea. So I'm going to be there in a couple of minutes. I'm going to mark the time I start. I do speak, I do declare. Wow, what was that? I had a video that was, I do speak, I do declare. What happened there? Well, I just want to see something. I'm just. Okay. Okay, that's why it wasn't accepted. Okay. I'm just looking back at one of my videos. I'm going to come back. I'm going to be starting this in about 2 minutes, the 5-minute mark. I'm just uploading something new to the page. Just give me a second here. Let's see if it's still there. Uploading. You know what? I'm going to just show you this. And can you see sort of like the guitar, how it goes down all the way? It's just a regular diamond, but then you can see 3 buildings that have come down, and I stretched it out on the right. Now, I'm going to be back in 1 minute, and we will start at about the 6-minute mark. I just need to do a few things. I am just going to check my stove, my tea. Give me a second here. Going to be there in 1 minute. So I'm going to close this. I want to close this. I want to find my heater. It's a little chilly. Can you imagine? I misplaced a heater that's like gigantic. It was in the bathroom. Hold on, let me go back and see. It's exactly where it is. It's where I last left. Whoop! I think I just went fishing. The plug got caught on the floor. Rubik's Cube. Would you ever think Rubik's Cube? Maybe we can study together tonight. We can learn something new. Would you like that? Me too. I need to learn about turning off lights. Why is it so bright? Oh, yeah. Rubik's Cube. What happens with Rubik's Cube? How can we transform and understand Rubik's Cube to Merkaba? I'm not going to get into that. I will tell you, there are 20 cubes on this. I want to understand the Kabbalah. Let me see. Kabbalah.
According to Wikipedia,
No, that's not what I want.
Kabbalah is a set of esoteric teachings meant to explain the relationship between the unchanging, eternal God, the mysterious Ein Sof, and the mortal, finite universe.
Okay, so now people understand this, and I'm doing things that I don't even, that's not what I was looking for. But if they know about that, and you go back and show it in numbers, what can we do with it? What can we do with it? And they have this design, and I'm looking at it. You know, I'm looking at this design. I'd have to look a little bit deeper into these designs. You notice when you look into this one, you can see the way it goes down. When it goes down, it means it distances away. So you have the 11 in the front, and then you have the 2 in the back, and then you have the 1 a little bit closer. So you're actually looking at what is 11. So what is 11? Well, it's pretty simple with what I do, because I manipulate things, but at least I manipulate, and I believe my situation. I share it with you. And the manipulation is, if I go to 10, it means I'm starting all over again. So in the first cycle in Fibonacci, we went 1 and 1. What was it that got us back to 1 and 1? Step number 1. Step number 2, does that mean that spirit time, the connection, number 1 itself, was not first but second? You classify it as an A because it comes from outside and it stretches over. It bridges. It bridges the end or the tail with the beginning. Now, since what we do as A and B as our first equation, or 1 and 2 not using the same number, right? And when you do use 1 and 1, it's 1 and 1. It's not 1 and 1. You go down 1 this way? No, this way we're going to get this way. If I go 1 more down this way, it's going to be 3. And it's a crossover. 3 comes into the center. What happens is, here is number 1, and then here is number 3. But at the same time, what happens is we're going to call this, we're going to go to N. And we're going to go to N as 1. And when I come down here, right, over here is M. This is M. There's a void in between over here. So what can I do with this void? If I come down here, right, I'm counting down M. Wow, I can't even do it because I'm going straight down this way now. So I'd be going, this would be 11. This would be, I can't even give it to a number. It's a minus. It would be 8. This would be 8. Because 8 plus 1 and 1. Would it be 8 or would it be 9? Now I'm questioning myself. Let me think. We're going by 2s. We're going by 2s. We're going by 2s. So if this was 1, yes, it's going to be 8. I'm going to explain to you why. Because the Gematria setup of letters, what I did, okay, there's many ways to do it. The way I did it is, this is K. And then this one over here is I. So this will be 1. This is going to be 3. This is going to be 5. And then the connection to what G is, as 5G, is connected by 6 and 6, connected by 66. This is the Gematria Scale, the 2 mountains. You can see it in logos. You can see it in logo 2, 1, 2. BM 28 30, but it's actually 13 and 10,000. It's actually talking about itself. It is the 13th letter, and the M is 1,000. Add 1 more 0. Why would it become 10,000? So it would be like that. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. 16 is what? 16 on one side, and after your first equation, it becomes 13. 1 times 6, 1 plus 6, 7 and 6, 13. Could be a coincidence. 2 times 1, 2 plus 1. And that's what the equation is. 2, 3, 4. And its value is 5. And this is the BC. So it's BCE. And this is the rat. And this is in the sewers. The reason for that is because it's Bell Canada. Bell Canada's always put their telephone lines in the sewers. It is part of communications.com. Bless you when you sneeze, bless you. So I'm just thinking, we have to remember the face of the cube. Okay, the face of the cube and the butt. The face and the butt. You know what's funny? Quebec says butt and face. When you roll a dice, you always get to see 5 sides. The other side you don't see, but you already know what it is. So when there's 3 poles, is because there's 3 opposites. So there's 3 poles. 1 equals 2 areas. 1 pole is 2 areas, the front and the back. Why don't we just call it opposite sides? And then we're going to go the ring. 22 reverse, ape, Mars. First of all, it's talking about the second cube. There's many ways to talk about the second cube. By mentioning 22, you've busted out of the first cube. 21 is black jack. You got all 21 in the first cube. 22 is the beginning of the next cube. The total in both the cubes is 42, 21 and 21. 21 and 21. 21 here and 21 here encompass your 8. So what does that mean? I don't know. What is the beginning of this? Can this be an invert to what this is? Because the numeric value for this is number 7. The numeric value here, and then you're going to upscale. And now you're moving into the zone. We didn't go down. We're going up. And we're going to go by 3, 7, 9, 11, and 13. And we skip an area. We move over. I don't know if I should have skipped the whole area, half the area, but it's regardless. This area is going to be shared all the way down. I don't want to mention that we always start from the half area. We do and we don't. If I jump into here, I end up over here. Come into the house. Well, I'm not going to come into the wall. I come into the middle of the house. And then you go into the next middle of the house and the next middle of the house. But if you're drilling a hole here, it's going to push that area separation back. I just want to explain one thing about DC. DC carries the E world with it. It is noted as the liberty because in between any number, okay, and letters, if there is one space separation, it becomes 55. So it's part of what DC represents as the smallest 7 in the cube, 4 opposite of 3. DC holds on its back. D and C holds on its back. Okay. A, F, and B, E. This one holds that on its back. So 7 holds 14. So DC gets a 2-to-1. Yeah, because it's on the outside. Smaller, smaller, smaller. So we can also invert this and put A and F, but we're not going to do that right now. So what I'm doing over here is this is 13 and this is 13. So what would this be over here? Well, this is going to be 15 and then 13 and then 11 and then 9 and then 7 and then 5 and then 3 and then 1. The combination of these two over here, well, you do not see it, the O letter, the letter O, N-O, the O will connect N and P together. It is also going to be noted as a 1 area space in between 2 and could also be noted as the 50-50 zone in between 2 areas. Why isn't it the 55 zone. Perhaps it is the 55 zone of two areas. I'm not sure with that, how you want to look at it. But in this scenario, what we're going to look at is that what covered the bottom house here, and don't forget, this is going to break out over here now. And this is also going to be 9. What is 9 and 9 over here is 5 and 5 over here. So it's going to show you another house like this. And then there's going to be the in between this house as this house. So we're going to just draw this line here and draw this line down here. And I'm going to see if we can get some numbers out of here. So where I'm going down here, so I would go to 17, 19, 21, 23. Now, I'm not sure if I should do this at the same time. I'm still going to drag myself because I've passed the gateway over here at 23. What number 23? Number 23, if I run this properly, I'm at the 7th gate. Hold on. I think I got something cooking. Let me see. Oh, it's my incense. Oh my God. I'm going to grab a tea. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Something smells like it's burning. It might be this. I think I'll unplug it. I don't know what it is. It just smells funny. Yeah, it's what I put in the, my fridge is open. Okay, what happens to my camera? Okay, just give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. So, so we're gonna get back to. I got 4. Hey, Robin. Yeah, how you doing? Ho, ho, ho. Yes, 69. Turning around. How you doing, Lisa Tully? Glad you not got the burning. Be careful. Find out what you're smelling. I had some incense going, and I have a fan underneath me. And I'm hoping it's the fan, and I'm watching out. I mean, you can see if you see a different color in the background, I'm keeping it dark here, right? So if something looks like it's lit up. So let's get back to the because we're working on right now. I just want to show you what I'm aiming at, because I think this mixes into it, okay, and K. Kaban meaning a small stone building in the court of the great mosque Mecca. So we got to write down that word Mecca, that contains a sacred black stone and is the goal of the Islamic pilgrimages, point towards which Muslim turns to pray. The sacred black stone. So I got to write that down. So, first of all, let's jump to the piano and the way certain languages are in the world. The English write from left to right, and the Hebrew write from right to left. Let's go to the piano. Hebrews get 29. Those in North America that write from the left to the right, and all the other ones in the world, they get 24. Center C. So just note, your birth in the sun, 29, and those Hebrews follow the moon. And again, the moon is ingrained inside the Kabanic world, inside the cube, which is noted to be the house, which has a black stone. The word stone is actually saying first. That's what the word stone zone is first. Because if you take a look at the word itself, okay, you have the word one. And usually ST is just an abbreviation for first. So if you had first and first coming to this, you'd have 1 and 2 coming to that. And that's KABA. The ST, you want to call it a set, you want to call it 19 and 20. Reverse alphabet is G, G, H, and this can be noted as F. It becomes a total of 15. The 15th letter is O. 15 and O and U coming together. It's a direction. This is Mars in the cube, 36. Remember that 36. 36. All three sides, the ring and the pole, all 21 dots and 33 dots. 3, 6, 9, and 1. 1 plus 1 and 2, sorry, and 2. 3 times 3, 3 plus 3, 2 times 1, 2 plus 1. This one is your gateway. This one over here. This one is noted to be in the world gates of where it's 1, 4, and 7. I'm going to try to see if I can really explain that, but I want to get back to where black is number 29. 1 is number 34 DC, and 39, it's 73. Creation gate. This is the gate, which is the cube. 1, okay, is going to be the faces of the cube. 3 is going to be the separation. These are going to be the separation and the faces. Here is a cube. All the opposites will total 7. You will have 7 months of 31 days. Times, which equals to 217, okay? 217 times 3 equals 651 plus another 217 equaling to 868. The cat's gate through Q, 1717. That's Q, the cube gate. 306. This has to do with Mars. This has to do with Mars. 1 and 5 will create 5 and 6. So it's just another dimension. It'll also create from with it the DNA and explain at the same time. You can see 7 come 11. 1 and 6, 7. 6 and 5, 11. You don't need 5 and 1, 6 because you already have it. And 1 times 5, 1 plus 5 will create 5 and 6. But that's not taking me anywhere. It does, irregardless. Just to note why I said it is because it's a 4-year closing cycle in which I, for some reason, I just see us just keep going around like this. That's all I see us doing somehow. Something like that, just going like back and forth until we close off, you know. Anyways, because here's the first dot, here's the second dot, here's the third dot. So if I just go back here to close the cycle, I'm just back to where I'm started from. And the extra day, because of this angle that I went, there's my extra day. Who knows? Just trying to work it out mathematically. So we get 868 days. Tell me if I'm wrong. 217 times 4 is 868. Knowing that this creates the division of the house planet of DC. How do I get to that? Because we have 2 dice. And when you have an 8, the opposite side of the 8 is going to be a 3. So if I stay with the 8, you're going to have 33. But I don't have to have that 8. I can have this 8. And then on the other side, I'm going to have 24. 24 is what causes 86, and there's your result. 24 is what causes 86, and there's your result. Because there are many 86s. There's another 86 over here. This is Mars. So when we have Mars, right, what does this cause? This will cause 6 and 5. This math will cause 6 and 5. Okay, not like the 2 and the 4 that created 6 and 8, that created itself 2 times 4, 2 plus 4. Unlike the 5, and no, we were working on the 2 and the 6, right? Unlike we can't do the 2 and the 6, but what's funny, 2 and 6 is 8. 2 plus 6 is 8. 2 times 6 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. So we don't have the 3 in that answer there. So we just see that each one is 6 and 8. So 2 times 4, 2 plus 4. This is just a reduction. So where did the 3 come from? 8, 3, 3, 8. It's our rotation that brought it together. 3 plus 3 equals to 6. 3 times 3 equals to 9, equals to 15, equals to 6. It comes back to itself. 3, 6, and 9 come back to themselves. This is the division of the gate, but it's the voided. This is in the void, because that's where I find the answer, but I'm going to show you 2 answers to this. It's in the void, as this is the void. There's 3 voided here, and there's 8 voided here. This void is going to have a mathematical result, which is going to be, losing my pen on the floor, 11 and 24. So it's going to tell you about the separated gate, which is 86. And then it's going to tell you about creation, number 3. It'll create A and B, 1 and 1 in itself, in star system creation, and I can't say it any better than a multiplication and an addition, to where you have to create a multiplication, and within it you create an addition. But the reality of this is not true, because you can create a multiplication in a single area, but I cannot create an addition without creating 4 areas. So therefore I can multiply in all areas. Here is a minus minus, a minus plus, a plus plus, and a minus plus. That's what they taught me in school. Should I be using these X's? I don't know. But when I do create these X's, let's not get into that right now. I want to stick with this. This is that cycle. So now what I'm going to get is the baseline cycle of 3 years was 651. That's the baseline cycle, 6, 11, and 12. Okay, that's fine. Okay, there's 2 things about this. I'm not sure if it's going to fit, but in between 1 and 5 is 2, 3, 4, the vibration. And then we have 6. So I'm just trying to, there's 2 ways I look at this, because things change. You have A, B, C, D, okay, which is 4 sides equaling to 10. Then you have E and F equaling to 11, and that would only be 2 sides. Okay, so you have 4 sides, and I call it the ring, and it's only really equal to 14. And here you have 2 sides, or I should actually be calling them faces. Did you know that the B and the F, the reverse Y and U, there are no BK, no black key. No black key next to the B and the F. What is the half alphabet to B? What is the half alphabet to B? It's just unreal that the half alphabet to B, just let me see something over here. The half alphabet to B, 7, there's a slight error. This has to go over here. Later. Okay, so here's where your 3, hopefully I didn't lose what I was doing. Oh my God, every time I do that. 353. I'm just trying to, wow, I lost where I was. Not good. Not good. Okay, right over here. Okay, so now we have 11. Imagine this is 14 and this is 7, but it gets overridden by the alphabet replacement to 10 and 11. How so? There are 6 sides. I will call around 4 sides. I will give A, B, C, D to each side. I will conduct that 1 is A, 2 is B, 3 is C, D is 4, equaling to 10. So there's 4 numbers equaling to 10, and it's just so ironic that 10 equals to 4. And it's just ironic that 10 equals to 4. But this one is Mars. So what would be the opposite of Mars? It's Earth. Earth freedom in DC. Why DC? Because the fine line between a single digit, that is a single digit, both sides meet at 55. Canadian football. Where else am I going to take this? So we can note that on the 2 sides where it is 7, 7 come 11. That's ironic. And then 10 and 14. What is? I know this is going to represent Mars. The ring is going to represent Mars, and we wear it on the 4th finger on the left hand. Remember that. We wear it on the 4th finger of the left hand, the ring. We wear one ring with 10, let's call them fingers, or 8 fingers, take away 1 finger. Don't talk about the thumbs. Let's leave the thumbs out of this. We're just going to talk about these. Maybe we won't talk about that. We'll just talk about these. Or we won't talk about those. We'll just talk about this one. This one's pointing. Okay, forget about that. So this would be 24 and 18. I don't know really what this is going to tell me. It's telling me about the gateway. It's telling me about the gateway. Where's 2 and 4? I'm just trying to think about. This is the 7th gate. This is 6 and 9. This is going to tell me about rotation. Do I have to use E and F? Okay, now how does G come into this? How does G come into this? As when you begin, like I mentioned, 1 and 1, let's go to a new page. We're going to get back to this soon, the game of pole, stripes, and solids. But when we start, we have 1 and 1 equals to 2. And then 2 and 1 equals to 3. Okay, 3. 1 and 1 equals to 2. And 1 equals to 3. And 2 equals to 5. Again, B, C, E, communication, BCE, Bell Canada Enterprises. And this is 13,103. So again, right back into the moon. Where do I get this from? This letter over here has been used so many times to represent number 3. It is made from 1 and 2 in star system math. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2. We do not have to use the multiplication to rip things apart, to break them up into quarters. So I just use the 2 and 1 equals to 3, which is the same replica of how 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 equals 2 and 1 equals to 3. The equation of what is 1 and 1. That is your equation. So 3 is your basic equation in star system math, equates to 3. 1 times 1. 1 times 1 equals to 1. 1 plus 1 equals to 2. 2 and 1 equals to 3. I stop because I don't need to break an area space into a partial area space. But in order for us to come into this world, somehow our world is this way, where I have to see my addition sign where it's the multiplication sign. And now my multiplication sign has to divide everything up. The 4 houses has now split apart the houses with this now on one side. So I'm not really sure exactly what it's supposed to mean. I just know what 3 is, what it's made up of, what the final equation will be. Just give me a second. So the B, or you want to take it to B, for me, it's an expression of 13. Once it's an expression of 13, this is 2 plus 5 equals to 7. Right away, the B is telling me the reversal of Q, the gateway. It's telling me about the face of the cube, and it's telling me about the gate of the cube. The inverted doorways are all 7s. The mathematics of this will equal to 10 and equal to 7. The face of a cube noted or depicted on a calculator or on the keyboard or maybe on my telephone or maybe on the calculator over here. Here's another calculator. 1 second. They're all showing the same basic design. What I like about this calculator is everything is rectangular. I just like that. It's like building bricks. We don't have rectangular in here, but it seems like in this world, okay, our in the true world design, this is the way to draw the A. This is my perfect quarterly world day. Quarterly can also be look at a deer, if you want, the animal, a deer, right? A deer. Well, I didn't want to write it that way, a deer. And it is noted to be 1/4 of what is $1. And I'm talking about these because they all have significance to something else. I don't want to get into it. I'm just trying to explain what a quarter is. Quarter is also representing 8 at the same time. In order for duplication, in order to be on the ring side, you have to have at least 2 and 2, 2 this way and 2 that way. Otherwise, it's the pole. The pole is a singular. The singular holds the in and the out. That is your pole, the ring and the pole. So where was I with this? So, okay, yes. So your opposites on this dice, okay, are 7, 7, 7. So that 7, with that 7 said, and there's other 7s on this dice too, because if I blank out all area spaces and I pop my hand up and you see dots everywhere, and I replace the dots with numbers, I'm going to show you that 1 and 6 is 7, 2 and 5 is 7, 3 and 4 is 7. 9 minus 2 is 7, 8 minus 1 is 7. So we have 1 equation, we have 2 equations, and then we have 3 equations. So we have 5 equations equaling to 35. What is 7? So what am I doing? I'm just creating scenarios, realities, easy, basic things that we can do when we're very young, just by saying, hey, look, it is what it is. That's what it is. So the face, the multiplication quarter face, okay, of the cube is this: 1 and 9, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6, and 5 and 5. So I'm just going to turn around this way. And I'm just doing this off the cuff. I have no idea where I'm going with this. Oh, where is one of my books? Oh, I wish. I just want to see if I have that. And it wasn't far off. Just 1 second. I'm looking for. It's not this book. I see it's not that. Wow, I can't believe I don't have it. Anyways, I'm just going to tell you real quick what it is. Rotas, Arpo, Tenet, I forget the Rotas, Arpo, Tenet. Anyways, whatever it is, right? It is 96211. So that's 19. That's a 10. Then Arpo is 19576. And this is 13. And this is 23, 28. And that's a 10. And then over here we have 25552 or 262 if you want, or 1.25 memory. Or 35 and 35, you end up with 70. 5 times 5 plus 5 is 35. And then we do it here. It's 35. That's 70. This will be 35 and 35. And then you have to add the 15. So you will have 85. And why you do that, it's the same thing about if we did this. We have 4 cubes. We have 4 cubes. And then we put 1 cube on top of it. We put a gear inside of it, and this 1 cube gears everything else. You notice I didn't put a line down here, right? This is one side house, and this is 2 houses corralled. So where was I with this over here? So yes, the word B is a 13. That's the way I see it. The E is just another way to look at 3 in its lower creation. The 11 is the 11 to begin. In order to get the 11, you need 6 and 5. Ironic that 7 come 11. 7, the word is 65, and 3, the word is 56. Together, they're 121 or 11 times 11. It's just ironic how they just come together that way. Here is 1 times 3, 1 plus 3. There's 2 zeros over here. Could be talking about the 2 moons. Could be talking about the ring. Talking about the 2 moons. This is equal to 30. I don't know where I want to go with that, but every time I see that, it just tells me about man. Because when you get 169 moons, 169 times, and you have and 4 days. 169 times 28 equals 4,732. So it seems like there's a gateway separating between your 2-3 birth and 7 and 4. So this is what happens. Here's your 2 and 3, right? Here's your 2 and 3. In order to go through this cube, it's 3.5 both ways. 3.5 both ways. 3.5 for the 3, 3.5 equaling to 7. I'm just trying to see if I can explain it the way I want it. I'm just going to explain it the easy way. The 3 is on the complete opposite side of the 4. I keep explaining that in between this is a passage, and that passage is 55. To get in between both sides. To get in between both sides, you have to get in between both sides. Your connection, 55 over here, is right over here and right over here. You need number 6 to get through 55 through number 7 into the 9 birth. 5, 6 is the halfway point, and 8 is the halfway point. 6 and 8. You remember we spoke on the dice? 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 is that 6 and 8 to get through the gateway. That 55 is your DC gateway. I'm just trying to see your DC gateway. Okay, here's your 55. I'm just getting a little lost. Wow, no, I'm a little off. I'm going to jump back to what I wanted to continue on. I didn't want to continue on this, or maybe I will. Here is where your blackjack is. After that 22 you've busted, you went into the 7th gate. I go all the way up this way, and I go down here, and I'm counting up. I'm not counting down. It wasn't the same. When I came here, I counted up as well. I went 1, 3, 5, 7. And when I went back down, instead of counting down, I counted up because I'm splitting between the two houses. So here I count up. So when you become man, you come to the seventh gate of the eighth heaven. Here, what connects you to it? Number 14 and number 14. Number 14 and 14 connects you to 6 and 8. NN, the two N's. This is DNA-AND. DNA-AND. 19 and 19. 6 and, did I get that right? Yes. 5 and 1 is 6. The box that's up here, okay, in pool, it's the same as pool. You go up to 7, here and here, 6 balls up to 7, and then you have the 8 for the separation. And then when you go through 7 through the finishing touch to the reflective mirror of the 7th gate, where do I get this from? I should be going down here. If you don't know, let me just show you what it is. I'm going to go get a drink. I'm going to read what it is. Wow, stone means first. Well, that's what it looks like. If I get back to a stone, it's 1. And this is first. And the stone is right there, first. 1 stone, first. 1 means all, everything around it. It's 1 and all. If it's spinning, it's everything. So you have 39 and 34. And ne, I mean for me, ne is birth. NE is 19. It reflects what is man. It reflects the 3 letters of DNA. Being as 19, its reflective number is, it's 35, which is the center of the KABA, which is the center of the cube. This number is made from 55. This number is made from 13 equals to 68. Maybe it's the house planet again, divided by the 9 lives of the cat, the cage they put onto it. Where do I get these from? 1 times the lower house. Well, actually, if you really want to go all the way back, we're going to go to 16, and we're going to leave it at 16, and that's it. 16 creates it all. How so? When you multiply 1 times 6, 1 plus 6, you get 7 and 6. When you multiply 7 times 6, it gives you 42, and 7 plus 6 equals to 13. The total is now 55. So that's what divides up the 7th gate of DC, that 1 and 6. So your 1 and 6 at the beginning on the way created your 13. This is just one step of what it did. This 13 will create 19. The next move to what 24 will do, or 2 and 4, or 4 and 2, it'll create 8 and 6, and that'll be 14. But it'll be 8 and 6. So you can get 48 and 14 equaling to 62. The next equation that goes on to this, okay, is going to be 12 and 8. It's going to remind you about the purple heaven, the C part of the purple heaven. The reason for that is the 12 ball is purple. 8, when you get to 8, it's 2 worlds. So I just reflected off the 4 ball. 4 and 12, 16, 4 and 3, the DC worlds, the purple ball. The purple ball equals 88. 8 and 8 is 16. 1 and 6 is at the 7th gate of Pegasus. Purple is number 88. It becomes 64 and 16 equals to 80, which is 4 times 20, or a bypass to the U.S. Highway 66 and Interstate 80. It's noted as 4 times equals. This will equal to DC. This will end up equaling to number 19. This will end up equaling to number 55, Well, then it'll go on to 35, then it'll go on to 11. It's going to keep rotating it. This doesn't rotate anymore. It stays as is. So the first rotation of this ends up over here. So do I stop on doubles, or can I just keep rotating to where it becomes this, 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 to where it becomes this? Look at that. They come together. You always have to bring together the standard cycle. A, B, C. That's your standard cycle. A, B, C is your standard cycle. 60 and D is 40, and that's 100. It's either 0.3 running off the cube. It's 0.3 running off the cube. And if you're running off a face, it's 10. The reverse of this is 7. It's 7 and 10. What reflects that? 5 times 2 equals to 10. 5 plus 2 equals to 7. Those are Earth's numbers. This cube, I need something to drink. I'm going to explain this and come back. And if we can figure out the complete understanding with the house, with the Kaaba, okay, in which even the word Kaaba in its letters talks about the number 16. It talks about the seventh gate just in the word itself. And Kabbalah starts with the K, and your K is your creation. And if it's your creations through the seventh gate, and the numeric value for the word 7 is 65, that is your complete reverse cube, because your AB is a reverse EF. So AB is 3, EF is 11. It's the same thing in the game of pool, but 3 and 11 separation by 8. One thing before I go get a drink, this calculator, okay, in between the corners, 1 and 7 is 6, 2 and 8 is 6, 9 and 3 is 6. If you minus it, they all become 6 in the center as well. If you separate them from right to left, it moves by ones, but up and down it moves by threes, ones and threes. The moon is created through ones and threes, 57, 75, female and male, and female and male. 57 is the numeric value for the moon. 57, which will create a scenario through the creation in the word of Mars, which the reverse alphabet numeric to Mars is 57. But instead of spelling the word moon, which has the numeric value, it does not have the alphabetical reverse letter switch, which the letter switch from Mars turns into H-I-N-Z, not in order, Heinz 57. The letters H, bookends, to I, polarity and time, the distance and the polarity in time. And the average over time creating N, and over time creating Z, Heinz, Union Jack. The distance in time longer than 1 minute, but 3 minutes, having that the center minute average should come out to what you should have 2 averages between 1 and 2 and 2 and 3, and then a total average to see what your mean average is based on whatever. But anyways, that's what Union Jack is. And it's funny that the word union is 73, and that is your 1 and 1 creation. Because the reverse, even though your cube is 1 plus 6 equals to the 7 is not there. It is just the 1 that went through coming out on the other end. Because in order to get to 1, you have to start from somewhere outside to get to the value that the 1 dot deserves, that's plastered on the outside of the door. And then when you open up the door to come out at number 6, okay, you had to come out somewhere. So even what's even funnier is that when you come out the door number 6, are you going back to 1 again? Did I show you about this little thing I was looking at? I was just looking at this. So we cannot go past number 4 or number 3. This is where everything stops. We can't go past 4 or 3. So in this one over here, we're going to go 1 And we go 1 here, we're going to go 6. So here it starts off at 6. Like, let's say this is your 60 seconds, right? But how can you really get your 60 seconds? 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. And then you went on. You started at number 4, you went 4, and then you went 5, and then you went 6. And that's how you get your 60, half and half, because you cannot flip this dice over to the other end. One dice has to be on 4, and the other one has to be on 3. Because if I want to go to, if I'm counting down 6, 5, 4, 3, I have to flip the dice completely over instead of a single 90 degrees. I'm only allowed to flip 4 times 90 equaling to 360 degrees. But I can't flip 4. I only can flip 3. Because if I'm going 1 to 2 to 3, how do I get the 4 on the other side? I can't. So I can only go 3 times 90 equals to a total of 270 degrees. And then I have to use my next dice cube over here. And I would do, so we're going to do that equation. We're going to do that equation. And it gets a little complicated because really and truthfully, Rubik's Cube has 26 cubes on it. 26 cubes. And then it has one spindle that controls 6. So everything that's going on in this planet should be able to be understood through the cube or through Rubik's Cube. They added colors to give us a little bit of wow, now I'm just trying to figure out where I was. What was I talking about? Wow, just lost my spot. I shouldn't do that. We were talking about that. I jumped to that. Rhoda Sator. Yeah, I want to finish with Rhoda Sator. Here is 19. And in there's also going to be 73 and 55. So all your 10s, okay, or they're talking about the faces. So Rhoda Sator and the faces of the moon. So I'm just going to pretend there's dots on the whole face here. So let's not even do it that way. Let's do it another way. We're going to use the calculator. So we have 1 and 9, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6. So we have all the way around. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 10 times 4 equals 40. Times 6, we have 240 on this total dice. Although we only can do 120 at a time, and then 120 on the other cube without turning it over 180 to the other side. So since we go 120, that's adding up 1 to 15. And this is where this comes into effect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is 10. Anyways, this one over here is 15 balls. This one over here is 15 balls this way. But I don't want to let's drop that. I need a drink. I have to go. When I start getting thirsty and stuff, let me read what just popped up here. Thank you very much. Let me see. Mine is Denise. Capital letters is easier. 62. So 62, which also is the card. 62 is the game. 62. What I like about 6 is it looks a little bit like the G. Notice the way the G looks like the 6. Another thing is that 5 times 2 equals 10. 5 plus 2 equals 7. G is that when you look at a nice G, on uniforms, look inside. There's a J inside the G. Well, I'm younger than all of yous, I guess. K is my middle name. Is it okay? So your K, back to your K Fibonacci creation. I just got to do one thing at a time. I think that we will cure something on this planet. I really, really do. We do. For me, it's impossible that we should. I mean, maybe I'm just looking highly on this whole thing, but I need something to drink or to eat or something. Just give me a minute. I need 2-3 minutes. I'm really, really thirsty. Oh. Yeah, you should take a look at this for a second again. I like this. See the way there's more than one cube? See the height? 2 cubes high in one area and 1 cube in another. One might be the pole. Can you look at the other one as the ring? I don't know. I'm just thinking. Dividing sets of numbers. Doorways to go in. This is not my design, by the way. I forget where it is. Math. It's the group I'm with. I'm one of the only ones in the group that really doesn't know any math at all. Then there's the way this works. You have to go through 44, right? You see where 44 is? 44 crosses over zones. The 5th one is in the next zone by touching the next zone. And you see the rabbit ears over here? Take a look at the 2. See these? Looks like 2 birds over here. Yeah, I want to take a look at my floor again. Just looking at my floor, looking for something I did yesterday that I'm not seeing today. Oh yeah, I'm seeing it. Okay, I see something. Okay. Okay, I think I see something. I think I see something in, see, 1 second, I'm going to put out a picture here. Let me see. I like the one. 1 second. Don't go away. No, it's not coming up. Not this one. Okay, we're going to use this one. And I'm not sure if you can see this, but maybe if somebody can tell me if they can see this. I got your name, all good. Okay. I wish somebody can just say, I see this. You see this octagon here? Or right over here? So here's an octagon. It takes 2 dots and 2 dots and 2 dots and 2 dots to connect 8. But when you connect this one, I only need 6. And to connect this one, I only need 6. But reality says I need 2 and 2. And then these connect. Once I have this here and this here, I will connect to here and here. I connect this area here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 connecting to 2 and 2 connecting to 4. 4, 2, 2, 4. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4. What will create 8 and 6? Or this little guy in the center that's dividing its legs onto this side over here is what is to 1 line, 2 lines, 3 lines, 4 lines, 5 lines, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines and 1 line and 7 lines.
The gateway, 717, 1 times 7, 1 plus 7, 7 and 8. The single gateway and the entrance. What is 1 and 7 and 1 and 7? When we know that on the seventh day, we rest. We don't lay any eggs on the seventh day. The chicken does not lay any eggs on the seventh day. Is it a cycle of 616? The cube says it is. 61613, coming into the Sabbath before the completion of the week. Why would it be 616? Because we connect the next week with the seventh day. Running 6 to the moon cycle, 6 by 28, equaling to a total of 168 days. 16 and 8, 168 hours, which is 7 times 24. 6 times 28 equals to 168, to where 7 times 28 equals to 168, to where 3 times 28 equals to 84, equaling to 4 times 21. Now, what I'm talking about right now is when we come into the cycle of where God rests, okay, well, so does the chicken. The chicken, okay, is 6 and 1 rest. So the chicken, after 4 times 7 equals to 28 days. Okay, 4 times 7 equals to 28 days. Okay, the chicken has laid, okay, 4 times 6 eggs equaling to 24 eggs. So one is the day and one is the cycle of the moon. The day 24 separates the gateway, and the moon we get 16 and 10 equaling to 26. I'm going to have to understand 26 is the reverse of 15. Okay, and that's perfect. I'm going to explain that. I don't want to lose this thought. So we had 16 and 8. So 16 and 8 is space. Let me go space time. 44, 47. Space time equals to the spirit 91. Spirit, in which 1 takes over the 9 position, embodies it, because you go 1A over to AH, and then you go B 2 over to 9I, because you can't go all the way to the end, knowing that A started with B. So then if A started with B, you always have to go by 2s, because you need to start. You're standing, you ended, we know you ended, are you starting? So when you start, you go A, B, A and B equals to 3, and then we end up at 8, because I just stop at the end. I don't need 2 of them to stop. Although I can go 7, 8, I can just go 8. Now, if I was counting down, I'm not going to count down by 8. I'm going to count down from 9. Even though the reverse polarity of the alphabet is 1 and 8, 18-wheeler, and it's right over here. If you go 5 times 1 equals 5. But when you go 5 times 8 equals 40, 4 plus 0 equals 4. So 1 is 5, 1 is 4, right? Let me show you this again. 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equals to 5. 8 and 8 equals to 16. 1 and 6 equals to 7. And 8 equals to 24 equals to 6. And 8 equals to 32 equals to 5. And 8 equals to 40 equals to 4. You see the way I did 5 8s and I did 5 1s? Do you notice that the 8s are going in increments down by 1? And you can notice the 1 are going in increments up by 1. But yet after 5 of these and 5 of these, they pass each other. I only have to do 1, 2, 3, 4 1s. and I have to have 5 eighths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eighths in order for their numerics to match up at 44. It's pretty weird, but that's the way it is, and I'm going to have to understand it. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 1, 2, 3, and this is 40, and that's 44. And it represents area space and the division between night and day because it's offset. They're offset, and they're offset exactly how I showed you here. You see the way these two, they're connected together inside the haven, inside the cube hive. You see, here's the hexagon. The hexagon is noted to be the hive. But as you see down here, the cubonic has been installed within it. It's been whatever it is, but that Y, okay, is the cube. And that cube is a 10 face, and that 10 face has 6 sides. So we did a 10 face. I'm going to get back to that in a minute, okay, and Pluto. But this is a 10 face. 10, 20, 30, 40. Times 6 is 240. 240. 6 times 2 is 1200. 6 times 40 is 240. 1440. You ever see that number before? Yeah, there's 1440 minutes in a day. The medical doctor, just what we ordered. The prepared day just for the human race. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If we can just discover of what that cube means, right? Looks like the mid of construct of matrix in ATM. Sorry, that's okay. Can I tell you something? How confident I feel on what I see is made me to believe that you couldn't get any more perfect than to implement Mars and Earth in DC, to implement that man is only man on the 169th moon, and to know that when you play the game of Monopoly, in order to make the construct, the design, the architecture, you need one dot in the center of 168 other dots, in which the board is made up of 13 by 13. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 is 3 and 4 DC, which repeats hot and cold. In hot and cold, hot will get red and cold will get blue. When you mix them together, you get purple, you get warm, you get number 55 in the DC house. It's not me. It's the words and the numbers and the cubes and the cards and the games and everything else in the TV that put my mind logically and rationally in order to understand and believe that when you have the planet Pluto, number 84, its numeric value for Pluto, and I did not do a reverse on it. I can't, there's too many strings. Its numeric value to 84 to Pluto. 3 times 28. 28 days is our moon. I'm not going 27.3 because 91 times 3 is 27.3. 91 is when you add 1 to 13, which is our basic standard cycle, equals to 91 is 1 through 10, and Jack, Queen, King is 13 cards in the deck, whether or not you want to have the ace as a rover. Over. You see, if we don't end up on number 13, 13 is like 1, and 1 is like 13. 1 and 4, 4 and 1. Always come back to that. And I saw Grover Cleveland on the poll. 1 for 1 exchange. I have 4 areas, and I plop 1 area on top. I got 1 for 4. I got 1 for 4 and 4 for 1 exchange. I just recreated some kind of machine to run over everybody's minds and let the stream of information for who knows how many years flow on through. But everybody knows we're in an electronic world. and the water is electronic, or it can if you put electric into the water strong enough, you can make the waters move. So the water has, I'm not a scientist, but I'm just going to tell you what the story is. That when you hold back too much information, information will back up because it's still coming from the alter worlds. You constantly need to share this information. It is imperative in order for those who control the cycle of the let me see this again. The KABA. The KABA. In small letters with 3 A's, it is telling me at, be at, be at. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. You have AB, ABBA. Anyways, it's just 11, 1, 1, 2, 1. Well, 11 times what is 11 equals 121. It is the E world. The total of the letters up there is 11, 12, 13, 14. It's 16. That is the reverse cube. 16 is the spirit of 76. Then 7 times 6, 7 plus 6 equals to 55. Now 55 is what splits DC. It's the DC cube. 7 times 7 times 7, because that is what is on the cube. There are 3 sides of 7. 3 opposite 4 is 7. And then 1 opposite 6 is 7. And then 5 opposite 2 is 7. So it's 3 of them. 7 times 7 times 7 is 343. The letters CDC. 343. Now 7 plus 7 plus 7 equals to 21, plus 343 equals 364. 28 days times 13 equals 364. There are 169 area spaces in Monopoly in order to design the outside of the board, understanding that every single corner is at least minimum square, which means I need to use 2 by 2 area spaces on my checkered paper that I write, the quadrille paper, leaving the area space on the outside equal to 40, equaling to blue, and equal to 48, equaling to what is 84 Pluto, which is 4 times 21, 4 cubes, 21 dots, equaling to 84. That will equate to 3 moons. Again, DC. One side does one thing, the other side does something else. Everything is 4 and 3. The other thing about these cubes is the opposite sides will show you 7 come 11. Every face as your calculator. Think I have 2 calculators. Look at 1 through 9. That is the face of the cube. Don't look at them dots. Look at them as blanks. Replace them with the calculator. And the cube is right here. 9 areas. So 9 and all their crisscross equals to 40. So the face equals to 40 plus 5. So if it equals to each face has 9 spaces, 9 and 9 is 18, but you only see 7. We're missing 11. 11, 7 come 11. 2 cubes rolling down. Even though the real 11, okay, it's the expression. And 11, 11, 11. Oh, yeah, I keep getting pens and they just keep disappearing. So 11 times 11 times 11 equals 13 31, right? In order to get the 3, you're going to need 1 times 1, 1 plus 1, the beginning of Fibonacci, 1 and 2. So if I got 3 from 1 and 2, the 12th letter is L and L. Since this is the first letter and that's the first letter, I got Allah right off the front of the cube. Wow. I also, when I bring them together, I get 24, or I get 161. So right away, you have the spirit of 76. You have man. You have man on the moon. You have the cycle of what is the moon for area space. 13 and 31 is 44 area space. So then you have 44 and 13. That area space is the male and female inside the E world, 5G. This will go on to create night and day. This will go on to create DNA. This is your multiplication. This is what came from your addition. 7 and 6 is 13. Together it equals to 57. Now we go 31 equals to 88, and I'm going to stop right now. 88 becomes purple. You want to divide purple up. (44) and 44. Area space of day and night. 16 and 8. 16 and 8. 7 and 6 and 8. And you have 8 and 6. And you have 8 and 7. The heaven with the gate and the heaven with the light. I never really know heaven with the cat. Or how about heaven with the fox? How about fox headquarters? Do you ever just want to jump off the subject a little bit? Have you ever heard of maritime law? Maritime time. The maritime is, I think it has to do with the ocean time. When you have a capitaine, captain, maritime. So everything we do, and I have to go through my phone and look for all the things I wrote down, but everything is related to Mars. Everything is related to Mars. We have this. Instead of this, we have this. We have been capped. So I want to know the pyramids that have this and the pyramids more that have this. This is telling us a story, and these are telling us a story. And remember that when the A is split, right? Let me go over here. Hold on. This is my A, and then it gets split over here. And the question is, do I join the next one together, or and then there's another A down over here. This one gets split. So we have this side of the block, and then we have that side of the block. And I didn't really do this well, but you can almost look like it's a, and if you notice, it's 4 and 4, 44, 44. That joins within that. Now, my question is it split through here, or should I only start the split over here? And you notice the way we have the cross? Living on the cross between both sides, between two worlds. So I don't know what the whole replica. And then what I would do with this is I would go ahead and reflect within inside of itself. And yeah, and that's exactly what I would do. So there's an ace over an ace, and I don't know what this whole thing is going to be doing. I have to go get something to drink in the fridge again. really dry. I feel like I'm slouching, that I'm not going fast enough. It seems like I want to just like throw all the information out there when I haven't even accumulated it yet. Remember this before I'm just pondering. Rubik's Cube has 20 cubes, not counting the center. If each cube had the same value as a basic cube, 21, what would the total be 20 times 21? 420. 420. 80. 80 and 24. 104 communication. 10, 4, 1 and 4. A and D. First is last and last is first. When the fourth motion came and brought you back to the beginning of the triangular movement. You go this way, and then you go this way, and then you go this way until you go all the ways. I'm just thinking of something. So that is the reality. Now, the corner holds 3 colors. So now that 21, okay, that 21, and only counting the corners, don't count the center dots. So now we have to relate to this cube, and we must remove this cube is actually 3 and 18, because the maneuver that I want to make cannot happen. Cannot happen. There are too many pieces on this Rubik's Cube. It's because what happens, I don't know if I can always describe all the time. I'm going to get to that in a minute. What happens is we're going to do a basic. And what happens is they plug in. One comes and plugs in here. One comes and plugs in here. One comes and plugs in here. And one comes and plugs in here. And then we have the one of the other plugs. I'm not really sure which way we should do this. If I should just run it this way and this way and this way and this way and here. And now we connect the octagon house that joins 4 houses together. And this is also can be seen. I'm not sure if you can see on the floor. It's a little dark, eh? It's too dark. Hold on a second. Yeah, here. Right here. So we joined, if these were squares, and they're not, because I connected the center of a square in order to create this. So these connect. And when 2 8s connect together, right? When 2 8s connect together, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 and 6. You get 6, 2, 6 at the same time. Okay, at the same time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, although there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines, there are 7 lines, but there are 2 dots here and 2 dots here and 2 dots here. So I have 7 lines and I have 6 dots that connect to 1 line, that connect to 2 and 2 dots that are together used on both sides. So 2 and 2 equals to 2. It's the same 2 that they're using. So what was once 8, or what the image creation is 8, gets reduced to 6, 2, 6, 14 instead of 16. 16 got reduced to 14. But it's just like in baseball, when you you're getting ready, you're at the plate, and the action pitch is the sixth pitch. First, you have to have a full house. I mean, a full count. Same thing. You need one set. The set is for the balls because you can't get 3 strikes. You would be out. So you have a set of balls and you have 2 strikes. So you have a pair of balls, you have a pair of strikes, and you have a set of balls. So these are equations for the word set. Lost myself. Yeah, so that's 5 pitches. So at 5 pitches, before the result of anything that happens is going to happen on the 6th pitch, you're either out or you're on base. And what's so sweet about 16 is that 16 balls, okay, 16 balls. The first 4 puts 1 at first. The second 4 gets you to second. The third 4, 12. Remember 12, right? Remember 12 puts men on all the bases. Now the next 4 is going to bring somebody home. How sweet purple is? Because the 4 that got you to the base and the 12 that loaded up the base is an expression in pull between the 12 purple and the 4 ball, in which, again, purple is made up of red and blue. Noted that in the imagery of our life, that we note that red is hot or red is dangerous and blue is cold. Get dressed in something warm. Together, you mix it in the shower. Usually you put a little bit more warm than you put cold, probably 2/3, right? Or actually 3/4 hot and 1/4 cold. Is that what it is? So you get warm. Warm is number 55. Sky is number 55. Past is number 55. 55 is the division of DC split in the waters. Water is number 67. So we were talking about 11, 11, 11 that created the word Allah. L and A, the beginning and the end, 1 and 12, the female, the male and the female. And then what happens is when you end with the female, you bring the male to the other side, and then you end up with ML. And I'll show you what's going on. The 12th letter and the first letter. So you have 12 plus 1 equals to 13. So as you begin with A and B, if you're going to end, okay, or let's wait, if you're going to end with M, right? If you're going to end with L, your beginning of where A would start over again would start in the M position. The Gematria Scale, shows me that, let me just see something, that when we end at 6, 6 is a rib. 1 is a pass, 6 is a rib. One is the 1 dot and the 6 dot. They're the reverse of each other. When you come out at number 6, you're coming out between male and female over here. You're coming out male and female. E and I, right? When you go E-I-E-I-O, E-I-E-I-O is because you're inside of this O. Here is your E-I-E. Here is your I. Here is your E. But inside here, you're E and I because you're between the 2, 5 and 5. And it's not me. It is the dice cube that shows 5 and 4, which is I, and 3 and 2, which is E, or 6 and 3, which is I, and 4 and 1, which is E. So it's the dice cubes that are telling you this. So when you go to the E-I-E-I-O into the house, and the male and the female, because 12 equals to 3 and 2, and 13 equals to 3 and 4. And then if you take a look at this, it's rotation in the house of DC. 7 and 5. 6 and 6. When you do the math with these equations, this is what it says. This will create 6 and 8. we saw that in the artwork what 6 and 8 does. Inside these octagons, when you connect these octagons, they go from what is 8 areas. You can see the 8 lines that go all the way around, but there's only 7 lines and one connects both sides. So one counts for 2. This design is fabricated. I got to get some, I'm just going to take a 2-second break sitting here. That design is fabricated right off the roulette wheel. Those are the exact numbers, 1 through 36. It has 2 different colors, but there's interruptions in the games in colors. Although you don't see it going around the board, it somehow just happens to show up in the artwork. Oh boy. Atom of light and neuron has the same shape. K means ball. So, yeah, because I'm like so sure that all these troubles in the world can be fixed so easily. I just want to believe this. Imagine this: 1.8 billion people, 25% of the population sit in front of this. I must learn what it is because they stand by it. Remember, speaking of the word and knowing the good deeds of those who were in charge under the Cubanic ways, the ancient ways, things were transformed that we should bow down to the illusion of what we were taught to think. But if we know the goodness of what and who is the of any sort of God that may perceive with what is the Cubanic cube house, to whatever thy name is, Allah. The cube speaks his name. The cube speaks the cycle of the moon. Through Pluto and its numeric basic value for the children of God that should only have the schooling of nature, that we should learn from nature. Knowing the difference is so important, and where you get your information from. And sometimes it doesn't matter where you get your information from, because any information can be processed and stored as information needed to remember not to use anybody else's information that's going to be like this information. So it's a reflection and a base for things you won't accept. You know the word, the 7 bad words, right? You know the 7 bad words. Somebody else can write it. I can't say it, but you know the 7 bad words, right? But we're sworn to say it, so we can know all these things, but we don't use them. But we know of them. But why don't we use them? So in the Cubanic, in the cube, in the house, it's telling us that this is how we are run. That there was one cycle I wanted to do. I was talking about it, and I switched over to something else. Obviously, I wanted to do the 28-day cycle. No, we did that. Hold on a second. I'm thinking. Yes. Okay. So while I'm running this cycle here, okay, 6 times 28 is 168. So when I run 1 week of what the chicken does, Okay. The God rests, the chicken rests, they're both resting. I don't know what God and the chicken are doing, but I think one of them is trying to get across the street. Right. So space and time, 47 and 91. But when you go 44 over 47, it equals to 82. And now you have the cycle. You have the 1 dot and the 7 void. Because here you had the 8 void and the 2 dot. If I wanted to look at that perspective, 60 and 22. 60. I can't bring that in right now, but that's something for. Okay, so now what we have is I have to do this 3 times. I'm just, hold on a second. I'm being interrupted. Hey, kitty. Are you choosing a spot? Yeah, you're choosing a spot? Where are you choosing? Where are you choosing? You're going to choose right there? That's just lovely. Just let me move the keyboard. There you go. You can lie down there. You can lie down there. You can lie down. Lie down. Lie down. Lie down. You okay? Okay. Hey, you were good where you were. You were just perfect. Yeah, I didn't ask you to move. Just lie down. You know what? We need a lot of strength. We need a lot of strength, my friends. Do you know what's happening? We're in my country, not far around where I am. Do you know what's going on? You should check the map of what's going on. I don't know what news you're watching, but you gotta go check some other news out. You gotta check out some news. It's really bad. They haven't. What's happening here in Canada right now? They just enacted the yeah, you're reading it right. Number 42. Number 42 in the gate. This year is the year 2023, 43. We are at the gate this year. This year. I know it's about the cube and the control. We must share this control with this cube. When I started this in 2005, they had told me what it was, and it was written to me by a rabbi. I showed him the numbers. I showed him the numbers. I told him, I showed him the numbers, and he did this. Slain. 5781. I had to add 500 onto this. This is Earth. Add 500 onto this. 57. 2 is 7. 5781, right? 2 is 7. Why is 2 7? It's a 7th gate. The 5 void. The 7 void at the 2nd gate. We can't play. The 2 doesn't play in this world. The 1 doesn't play in this world. The 8 plays in this world. The 7 plays in this world. But not the 1 and the 2. The 8 and 7 replace them. So where's the 9? The 9 is any face. Or we can just call the 9 face down. Because when we call the 9 face down, now don't forget, this is just a hypothetical thought, a rational logic that has no real basis to it other than when you have a cube, you cannot take over my space. Sorry. When you have a cube, one side. Why does it always do that, my computer? Okay. When you have The cube, one side is going to be down. You're going to count the complete top side. You're not really going to care what's around, but you're going to know that the face down, the ass down, it doesn't matter. It's 9, because what's counting is up here. That ass down. So you're going to count 5 sides all the time. You're always counting 5 sides. So that's why when I mentioned you go from A to H. Sorry, you go from A. Hold on a second. I got. You go from A to H and B to I. So that's when you're on the face. That's when you're on this face. Okay. Now, what it is I'm just thinking. Right. The sides are 7. Right. The opposites are 7. So now what you're going to do is you're going to go A to E, and you're going to go F over to B. So this is going to be your 6, and this is going to be your this is going to be 6, and this is going to be your 8. And this is where the division of the gate is. And this is where there are no black keys next to F and B. So in the heavens, there's no black keys to F and B. Is that because the separation gate? Oh yeah, it's really terrible. The guy who's running this place declared there's a bunch of peaceful people down there, and the newspapers are just telling all kinds of slevage. You know what I can't even say the word. It's not the truth. It's the opposite of the truth. You read every single paper. It's not even what's going on. Yeah, inside of bio. Yeah, we are temporary. Yeah, absolutely. We're just temporary here. And the days are being counted because we're going through, I don't know. Anyways, I wanted to finish out this piece over here. Where was the A, B? So yes, so we had this. So A to E, F. So this is where the cube comes in. And then this is where the face comes in. Now, when we go to this in the cube, one thing I think about is it's 5 and 5, right? It'll be BE, let me see, BE, B, no, wait, BC, B, D, and BE. And yeah, and that's what it'll be, right? And then it's going to be F, F, E, and then F, D, and then F, C. We're never going to go to the end. We never go to the end because you add it up to the end. That's the way I'd like to think I would do it. You see, if I add it up not to the end, then this would be B and E would be the greatest extension. So it would be 2 and 5 equals to 7. And then F and C, which be its greatest extension, which would be 3 and 6 equals to 9. And this is these are 2 very special numbers. One is the gateway to the birth. They're both an illusion, basically, because you're here as the birth. So you become the 6th light within 7, breaking through the gateway within one world to the other, as I showed you in this picture over here. See these circles over here? These are our pods. Here's the cubonic world. This goes over here. This here, can you see where my mouse is? This here goes right here. This here goes over here. Now you can see within it is 2 cubes, 1 on each side, and 2 hexagons, 6 and 6. So what you see, okay, what you see is a cube down here where my mouse is. We go up over here and we know that these 2 areas are known as octagons, 8 and 8, 88. We know,
okay, that when we're connected together, they're both connected the same area. We know it's 6, 2, and 6. 6, 2, and then the same 6 and 2. So it's 6, 2, 6. Now we know that there are 6 areas over here in the hexagon. But you do know that where the point is, where the point meets in this, there is no dot. There is no dot. There is no passageway. It's a crossing in the hexagon. So I don't think it's an escape. I have to get something to drink in the kitchen. Just give me a second. Actually, I'm a little hungry. I'm hungry. Only a part of your spirit here called the soul. The soul is number 67 also. There's so many. Some days I come out here and I remember everything. Okay, I don't know. They sent me something. I got to go to the kitchen for a minute. Yeah, just give me a minute. Got to go to the kitchen. A little thirsty. Put something in my mouth. Yeah. I can't believe my fridge was open again. Actually, let me take 2 minutes. I'm going to have a little cereal. I'm a little hungry. So I'm going to take just a 2-minute break. Is that okay? Everybody let's take 2-3 minutes to eat here. So, and just 1 second, just 1 second. Eat a little bit. That's okay? We can eat just a little bit? Yeah, I'm hungry. Yeah, it's very, very sad what's going on, man. It's very, very sad. You should see this place. Everything is nice and quiet. I'm telling you, it's nice and quiet everywhere. Okay, so we're taking like a 2-minute break. Maybe I'll look at stuff while I eat. Yes, so hold on. So I'm eating. You want to chat it up? Let me look. I'm going to read you a book. What's going on now is biblical, my friends. Biblical. You would never dream. Imagine that there's 86,000 areas. Now let's do something simpler. Imagine there's 100 spaces. No, let's do something else. You have a terabyte on your hard drive, and you never get to clean anything out of your computer, ever. This is the world we're in. Nothing gets cleaned out. It just gets building and building and building and building. And by hiding the truth,
They need an area space for what's coming into the world, to take that stuff that's into the world, slow it up, process it. So now you need storage space, okay, for information coming from the altar world. How many years are we behind? All this information, the salt, the oceans accumulated over time, the waters are being pushed back. The information network from the moon is being backed up. That's why knowledge has just been exploding over the last 7,500 years, just exploding. Why everybody's just getting more into doing their own research, to where we've all become what we've seen on TV as the old Sherlock Holmes shows. We all want to be 10, more and more, and all that we can be. Thank you. Know that we are in the greatest time in history. Nothing will ever be the same. In September, we reach. I thought it was next year. Next year, we're completely gone from it. But if I run the cycles right, and we are in the year 2023, then 2023 will end in September. Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. We're leaving this area space. They have forgot to calculate the pole of the 7 years. You don't count the pole, because at the pole, you're gone. The pole is 7 up. It's a complete 7. Although it looks like 1, it's 7, the passage right through. 1 goes through 6. We reach that in 7 months from now. What does it mean? Where are we going? Do they think they're going to shackle us here? That they can separate the alignment of our DNA when they come to beam us up, Scotty? How does it work? I've never been through one of these before. I don't know what kind of new beginning it's going to be. But I don't think that we can just zoom into a perfect world. We have to be in the world where we have to know the difference between right and wrong. Not just in Canada or the US, but the entire planet. Every human being in 20 years from now will never have seen somebody who is homeless unless they chose to be. Creatures of free will can always get themselves in trouble. Just to note, another note. We have completed 62 years since 1960. Not 1961. When 1961 shows up, year zero is done. When 1970 shows up, when 1970 shows up, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. 1970 is 10. 1980 is 20. 1990 is 30. The year 2000 is 40. The year 2010 is 50. The year 2020 ending is 60. 21 ending and 22 ending. 62 years. Six times 12. Something to do with two cubes. I don't remember what it is. 3 and 18. 3 single dots. 18 to the corners. 3 single dots, 18 to the corners. When the corners and the sides, okay, right, the corners and the sides. These sides value 2 and the corners value 3. So if you want to understand what 2 and 3 is, the corner of Rubik's Cube will have 3 colors. Where's, I think I lost my Rubik's Cube. The corner of Rubik's Cube will have 3 colors, and the sides of Rubik's Cube will have 2 colors. Where am I with this? Where am I with this? Yeah, so I wanted to get back to the chicken. So when a chicken cycle at 84 days, the first chicken cycle, in the first chicken cycle of 84 days, right, which is 7 times 12, it's perfect. First of all, that's DC, 3 times 4, 3 plus 4. Where do I get 7 times 12? Well, it equals 84. This will equal to that. This equals to 84. But what's going to happen? It's going to be 6 times 12 equals to 72. So what happens to 84? It gets reduced to 72. The beta gates. The 2 has 7 voided spaces. I diagnose the cube. I tell stories of what I see and to what I believe to be the truth. And it has to calculate mathematically, rationally, and logically of its position of the understanding of how I create math equations. And this math equation is with the chicken. The hen lays for 6 days, and it lays on the 7th day. It does not lay an egg. So therefore, in a 4-period week, you will have 28 days, but only 24 eggs. 24 times 15 equals to 360. Times 4 equals to 1440. Times 3 equals to a cycle. An egg is a 0. A 0 is the 15th letter. The 15th letter in the alphabet, the exchange on it, times 4 parts. There are 1,440 minutes in a day. I go 3 days, I get 432. I do not do the 4th day because the 4th day will join the next day, just like we saw with the octagon. And just know that when I do add the 4th one to the cycle, it equals 5760. And this was the time of reset of the cube. Do you remember this? This is the year 2000. This is Hebrew time. I follow the moon. I follow the chicken. Follow a whole bunch of things because the chicken follows the moon. So the 24 eggs ends up to be 72. How important is number 72? You want to know how important 72 is? W, X, Y, and Z is 98 minus 26 equals 72. This was removed, and they put it on A1. They put it on number 1 on the ATM, the Z. So it becomes 72. And you know what's funny? PQRS equals to 70. Well, they took away the Q. 17 equals to 53. It's ironic that this becomes 14 and 9, and this becomes 15 and 8. How the 8 and 9 are right next to each other, how the 14 and 15 are right next to each other. By the way, the 8 and 9 have a connection together. There's a cycle of 99, 9 times 9, 81. 9 plus 9 equals to 18. 18 and 81 equals to 99. That's my 99 and 18. That's where I get that. So that means if this is created from that, then somehow this has to have some sort of association to it. But just to note that 14 and 15 is when you go to pi, you have 3.1415. The next two numbers are 9 and 2, and these add up to 29. This is 6 and this is 5, and the next two numbers are 6 and 5. And these two say no, 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 no. No high, no high, no high. Just trying to see what else it can say. No high, H-I-O-N. So this is a capital H. I wonder if we can exchange that. Anyways, the mathematics for this equals to 23, equals to 23. It's ironic that this letter that they removed was the Q. That one was the Z, 26 and 17, 88. Isn't it ironic? That's what they did. You want to see? Just 1 second. 1 second. Where's my keyboard? ATM. ATM images. Let me see. Where is it? ATM images. Come on, show me a nice ATM. Come on. Okay. Is that good? No, I can't see that. Wow. I view. Let me see. You see, this one has WXYZ. Wow. Wow. Let me just go to see. Let me go see in this. Hold on a second. ATM machines, big pictures.
Pictures of automated teller machines. Here you
Okay, give me something. Wow, I can't believe it. I can't get anything up close. I just can't get anything up close. Can I get this up close? No. Okay, here. Wow, now there's no letters. Wow, this is unbelievable. I've never seen this before. Hold on, we have to find this. We must see this. Okay, let me do it different. Bank of Montreal ATM machine. Wow, I don't believe it. They switched them. Holy mac. This is crazy. No way. Look. I don't know if you can see it. I just can't believe it. I just can't believe it. They're changing it. Wow. Wow. No way. We got to find another one. Wow. How come I can't see one close? Okay, we got something. Hold on a second. Whoop. Let me go back. I had something. They didn't do it on everything. Here. Hey, here. Cast forward. I'm trying to copy. Wow. Hold on a second. I don't know if you can see. Can you see that? No, eh? Copy image. Okay. And now I just give me a second. So hold on a second. Wow. Now my computer's frozen. Wow, go figure, eh? That should not happen. Okay, so let me try another one. Here, okay. Wow, it's too small. Yeah, it's too small to see. Let me see view, take away the grid lines. No, you can't see it. But anyways, take my word for it. Take my word for it that the Q and the Z are on the bank machine. And what happens, the total of these two are number 43. The reverse alphabet total of this is 11. In your creation of DC, the total equals to 54 and let's say 32. That is basically your creation in the house of DC. Wow. Wow. I didn't even know I'm here 2 hours. I barely got anything done. You know what? They just declared that the last thing you wrote about, Robin, they just declared anybody that they think is helping out the trucks, anybody helping out the trucks, they can come to your house, seize your bank account. Yeah, it's really bad out here. I'm telling you. It's really bad. But you know what? When they're right, they're right. When they're wrong, they're wrong. So we know we're coming to the end of the tunnel. I know a lot of us see it. I'd like to see more about the constellations and if we can actually see what's going on with the constellations right now. So I'm not really so what we're going to talk about again is this cube has 6 sides. It's going to be played as 3 and 3. One of the reasons I do it this way is because I must turn the cube completely over in order to get to number 4. What I mean is if I counted by the numbers 1, 2, 3, the only way to get to number 4 is to do it this way. So my alternative route in getting to number 4 is starting with number 1 and then going from number 1 going to number 3. And then from number 3 I go to number 2. And then from number 2 I can now go to number 4. This way. And then I can go to 5 and 6. And that's by going backwards. 1, 3 instead of 1, 2. When you go 1, 2 and you have 2 different cubes, you go male and female. That becomes the moon. But when you go just 1, 3 and then 2. 1, 3, 2 is 44 times 3. The division of night and day. 1, 2, 3 is 41 times 3. 41 is your DNA in the sun. Those are the 2 ways of getting it. 1, 2, 3, 4 equals to 10 equals to 1. It's a triangle. You start here. You go 1. Let's say you start down here. You go 1, 2, 3, and back to the beginning, 4. And then after that, 1, 2. Oh, wait a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you get it? It's 3. Let me show you. You go from here to here to here to here. Now we're going to count 4. Now watch. 1, we're going to go to here. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So where did we start? We went from here to here. So I want to end up here at the end. So I went from here to here. I got 1. From here to here, I got 2. Then I got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 and 0 back to where I started from. And it took 9 to get back here. When I started from here, this was 1, this was 2, this was 3. I started from here. I was back home on 3. Then I was back home on 6, back home on 9. So on 10, I'm starting over again. 10 starts over. And that is your first cycle complete. So then you'll be going 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And since you started here, right? You went from 9. Now you have to start from here. You started from here. Do you follow what I'm saying? You started from here again. You ended up here. And now this becomes 18. And this was your final cycle. You end up over here at the end, between 18 and starting over 19 in the spirit. And that would mean you did it once, twice. You did it 3 times. You did it 6 times that you made that cycle. That is the 120 cycle. You did it 6 times. You got 720. You do it 12 times. Is that right? You get 1440, equaling to 1 day, broken up into 12 parts. 12 and 12 is your day. The only real part of your day that we ever talk about is lunchtime. You ever think of another place? Like the time, when are you going for lunch? At lunchtime. I mean, when are you going for breakfast? It's never 6 a.m., 6:30, 7. There's no set time for the whole entire world. But basically, for the whole entire world, they're going at lunchtime. That we're between the two worlds at 55. That's when we're going for lunch, when we're free. So let me see if we didn't go over something. We spoke about the piano. We spoke where the F and B, right? Do you remember that little piece we did before? Where is that? Yeah, the F and B. There's no black keys. That is the heaven. We're broken up into the cubicles over here, the 6 and 6. As I put you up right here, right over here. Here's the 8. Here's the 8. But what happens? There's a 2 spot over here, so it's 6, 2, 6. There are 7 lines. Each line picks up 2 dots. A line gets 2 dots, connecting dots. Here's your 66, your hexagon, where your cube goes. The value over here in each cube is 111. But the reality is that's not true. The value of this area to the right, can you see where my mouse is? The value to this area over here is 111, 35, 37, 39. When I induct the cube into this, I have to add on 37 more. So 37, so it becomes 148. But it only becomes, take away 17, 131. because I can't use both of them. Either it's an upward one or it's a downward one, two different ones. Let me see what the question is. What is this? Home run, right? You can get a grand slam. We can get a grand slam home run because the action pitch is the sixth pitch. That's the action pitch. It's not going to happen. There is no 7 pitches. The action pitch, if every pitch counted, the 7th pitch does not happen. We have to play with absolutes with the numbers. Should I get back to where the chicken? Yes, we did that. So after one cycle of Pluto, the chicken is going to lay 72 eggs out of 84. It won't lay 1 dozen. And then there was the, yes, and again, here's another thing, that if we ran the chicken against the hours in a week, in the hours in the week, the chicken, oh, this is wrong. There's a mistake here. The 7 days shows us the division in the gate. This shows us number 26. This shows us the 2 houses. I'm just trying to understand. This is the cycle, and this is the division gate. This here is Mars, and this is Earth. Why do I say that? Because the word Earth is a numeric value of 52, and Mars is a numeric value of 51. So you have a total value here of, although it's 103, I can also put 13 if I want to. It makes man. This can be 103. It can also be 13. Did I get that right? Yeah, 13. Mercury in September. Mercury in September. So where was I going with this? Oh, yes, I remember. Okay. So Mars being number 51, I like to take my skeleton alphabet and draw a 1 and a 5. And for Earth, I want to draw a 5 and a 2. Now, the actual area space I used to compile this, right? Now, I'm not sure if this is cheating or not. The only other way to do this is this way. So when I do it that way, I end up with that. And that ends up to be Earth 33. And then this ends up to be Mars 22. Mars divides everything at the 55, at the 50 marking. This is the 55 marking. This is the 50 marking. The reason for that, in order to go down through this center spot, I cannot. I only can do it this way. 5 on an angle, splitting everything on an angle. 45-degree angle, the fox pass in the sun. So if I should put up another square over here, you can see that there's going to be now a passing through. I don't have it on this. I'll draw you a picture in 2 minutes. So this becomes Earth, this becomes Mars, this becomes Mars, this becomes Earth. So now what has one single pole in it will be the pole, and what's going to have 2 lines, I'm going to sometimes refer to as the ring or locking the pole. Where were we next with this thing? So Mars and Earth, and Mars and Earth, the 3rd and the 4th planet, the 3rd and the 4th planet, the 3rd and the 4th planet. We were talking about purple earlier, the division of day and night. We were talking about what the relevance is. In this scenario, when we have our week, we have 2 Plutos, 84 and 84. So accomplish, okay, in order to accomplish this understanding of what's going on through the moon hours of the week, I just put ourselves with 2 Plutos in 1 week. In order to get the 84 days, okay, that is a total, okay, of 12 weeks. That is a total of 12 weeks. And since each week gets 2 Plutos, we're going to have 24 Plutos. A Pluto has a value of 86. The Pluto has a value of 84. The Pluto planet. What I do is I use reference to the value, their numeric value for the planet it is. Pluto is number 84. I get the 84 from the 168, 2 times 84. In order to run a cycle of the 28th cycle day of the moon, okay, the 28th on a cube that has 21 dots, I will have to go 7, 14, and 7 to get 28. But that's only 3. I have to do around the cube, which is 14. I will either go around the cube at 14 or through the cube at 7. So 7, 14, 7, I'm missing a 14. So each cube will be 21. There will be 4 cubes before the cycles will come back to its rotation. So that happens with 3 times 28 equals 284. Yes, 3 times 88. So that'll be 3 moons. So we will get 3. Let me do some new paper here. So we will get 3 moons, 4 cubes, 84 days. But if we ran it for a week of 168 hours, okay, we ran it for a week at 168 hours. Now there's something wrong about in the center of Monopoly. Okay, we have a total of 169 squares. In order to create the total design, there's going to be 1 interference. I need to remove 9 areas. We will only be working with 160 plus 9 in our week. That's our real week. That's where phi comes in. So this is the way I want to do it. I remove this. Now what I'm going to do is that the extremity of Monopoly, where the corners and the properties and the trains are, that's a total of 88. Again, purple, the blue pill, the purple pill. Jiminy crackers, come on. I ask you for some little respect, I ask you for a little respect. I do love you, I do, but I just want a little respect. Come on. Come on. You just can't sit there? It's not good enough for you? I'm as inquisitive as you are. I'm going to shave your head, right? Right? Okay. So 88 is over here. 9 is in the center. What's 160? 72. It's perfect. It fits just perfect. There are 72 areas that run inside the rim and all around the core. Noting that the core is the DC moon. 757. It's the DC moon. 12 R 13 B. Something to do with the 3 bears. Where do I get this from? Well, the 12 is an R and the 13 is a B. I've established that a while already. I've seen it in artwork all over the place. So I establish that, yes, we're going to finish with the 168 hours now. And the only way to get that 168 hours now, hold on a second. You have to, you have to just. Okay, so where were we? Yeah, so we're going to go back to the 168 hours, which don't actually calculate in here other than going around the center core. So it's like this ring is leading us all the way around. Now, the problem with that is we have actually no movement because we have to remove area space because we have to enter into area space and an area space has to move over. So in order to do that, that means this would keep moving around. And if you ever took a look at the Monopoly game and you looked at one side, you would actually see that. You're living in between here. This is the trains. The trains go this way, they come around the center, and they go back that way. And all the trains are the same thing. Because when you have a train, it takes up both sides of the track. And here's Central Station. We're plugged in somewhere else. There's an area over here. There's an area over here. There's an area over here. And there's an area over here. This one is GTJ. Okay, this is 7, 10, and 2. This is go to jail in this one. In this one here, you are going to reach between 91 and 179. This is your spirit, and this is your Q birth. Over here is where we're living. We're living in the minus world. The reason for that, okay, unless this is flipped upside down, right? This could have been a reflection. Remember, hold on a second. The reason, whoop, who did that? The reason for this is when you go onto your measuring scale, plus, minus, plus, minus, here is 2160. The diameter of the moon shows up over here at 2160. The actual vertebrae or cut between here and here is a 225-degree mark. So is it the 225 is the fine line, right? So that can be 224.5 or 224, which would be the number 224 one way, 224 degrees the other way, and there would be 2 degrees in between. We can go to a 0.5, but we can leave, do you follow me? The 0.2, the complete separation, because the fine line over here ends up on an odd number. So anyways, from here, the duck foot, in order to go here, or the tie showing the around the corner, okay, area is 216, 225, 234, which is 684, 675, and 666. This is your vibration. This one over here. This has to do with the moon, the seconds in the day. This is the moon diameter. What does it mean? Cutting the moon in half. This has to do with the exterior of the cube. It has to do with the passage through the moon. Okay, it has to do with the linking of the moon 5 and 6 through the light, number 6. And this is, again, they're all relating to the moon. This one will relate, okay, to 3 days. Our vibration relates to 3 days. But in those 3 days, there's 3 times 120 equaling to 360. Okay, times 4 equals to 12. So in order to create 3 days in this one, you need to have 12 cycles. Now, when you're talking 360, when you're talking about 90, it's 4 times 90 equaling to 360 times 4 equals to 16 times in a day. The 12-inch wood and the 16-inch wood that we're selling. This 16 is 1 day, and times 3 days equaling to 48, which is the ring, which is the what will be the division of day and night, what will be 3 times 16. So the 16 is your extremities on your dice. It is where 88 comes into the game, where 97 comes into the game, and there is no other. It's this one or this one. 63 and 16, and this is 16 and 64. 1 and 7, 1, 7 and 9, and 7 and 1. So this is the gateway, and I have to really try and understand a little bit more about that. 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to do a little bit more work on that. I'm getting a little tired here. 2 hours, 41 minutes yet. I think it's time to stop. I hope I got a little bit through, that it's understood. Not really many questions at all. I'm still trying to lock up, and that's the Gematria house we live in. This is the house of cards that we're living in now. We are definitely coming in. I mean, I don't want to say that what I've learned over the past 15 or 17 years, that for me, it has been falling exactly on the dates. I just know that the cube is very important, that if we can bust the secrets of the cube and do some more artwork with the cube, understand deeply a little bit more of that cube. We're going to do a mathematics of this. 26. No, I can't do it that way because the ass is missing. We're going to do it by 3 only. This cube, okay, there are 20 of them, but we're only going to use 3 sides on each of them. Or should I use 2 and 3? Well, listen to this. So the one color gets 9. The 2 color gets 18, and the 3 color gets 27. Now there are 8 times 3 color cubes. There are 12 times 18 color cubes, and there's 1 color gets 9 times 6. So here's the calculation. I'm just going to show it to you. This is Rubik's Cube. Okay, this is Rubik's Cube, and this equals to 54 and 15. This equals to 180 and 36, 216. We're talking about the moon. And 30, oh yeah, we're talking about the moon. And then this one equals to 160 and 56, 216 now. 8 times 7, 56. 8 times 2, 16. Wow, we got the same answer. And 35. 432 and 54. They're not this. This is not this. Whoop! I can't believe it. This. How did this thing pop on? I'm really, really sorry. 1 color. Every face, every color gets a face of 9. 2 colors, because Rubik's Cube. When you get a piece right over here on Rubik's Cube, it's 2 colors. When you get a piece here, it's 3 colors. There's 4 and 4. You can go around the cube this way. You can go around the cube this way. You can go around the cube this way, creating 2 colors each time. So you have 9 face. You have 2 colors, 18 faces, 9 per face. And then you got 3 colors, 27. You have 8 corners, 216. This will be your moon. You got 18, and then you got 1. This will be the sun. So in this one over here, you end up with your vibration. Here you end up with 35, 50. Here you get 80. What's that? Oh, right. I wanted to put 65, and then I want to put 65 and 15. $566, 17, 36 by 5, 180. Spirit in the gateway. Okay, so what's this? This is 26, and this is 27, 40. This is 54. Equals to 80. And that's basically your cube. Okay, Raphael, I'm going to look at the what you said out here, and I'm going to come back and see. Chicks, they cheated us. Free space. Yes, at the end of the 4th cycle or age, waterworks. 15 times 4. 12 times 5. 15 times 4. 12 times 5 equals to 60, equals to 60. 30 times 2 equals to 60. 20 times 3 equals to 60. And now we're going to go 1 plus 2 in all the ways to get to 60. And yeah, we're closing out. We're closing out, and it's just, I mean, we have friends all over the world. You know, the Da Vinci Code depicts that it's Canada, Quebec. And Quebec's name, it means ass and face. And there was a piece I was doing at the beginning of this that was talking about that, but I don't want to get into it. I'm really tired. I can't even focus anymore. And yeah, I don't know what's who, but I'll tell you one thing. This game that's going on right now was never set up by let me tell you, hold on a second. I want to show you what I think. Okay. See, this was never set up by them at all. Never set up by them at all. They were asked for help. Those guys you see, right? They are from the me. That's who they are. There's too many weird things that are going on. This is just, I'm telling you. That's what it's like, I swear. You just, and then the people are so, you know, and it's not their fault. But it's okay. I don't even want to say whatever it is, but you can look up. No, I'm not going to get into that. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. By design, we're all here. We are all going to witness history and the new world coming in. And it's, oh my God, you're ending off with what I started this morning. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Jack jumped over the candlestick. Jack and Jill went up the hill. What other Jack? There's so many Jack, you know. And not only Jack, but in French, it's George. And George represents 5G. It's the 5G passing. through the moon. It's hard to explain that because I'm still learning it, but the reason for that is the letters G and E in George and the OR combination coming together shows rotation. The O is 6 and the R is 9. So it's a 3 and 3 rotation of 2 cubes, which is number 42. And 42 gets me to the gateway of 86, which is the house planet. And it's really 1 cube each of 34 and 3 and 4 of each, which the center of the cube is the 3.5 area, but it needs a 0.5 area space on all sides of the 360 around the 1 dot, making it 3.4 all the way around, equaling to DCCDDC. Jack and the Beanstalker. Yes, Jack and the Beanstalker. Absolutely. So Uranus, Mars, Mercury, Earth, Saturn. You see, when you're talking about 11, you're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or you're talking about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you're talking about 33, you're talking about 1, 4, 7, 2, 5, 8, 3, 6, 9. Horizontal and vertical. Horizontal is 1 and 1. Vertical is 3 and 3. So if we're going to run a new Fibonacci code, okay, we're going to run the new Fibonacci code off of alternate realities. One of them is going to be the number 3. The other one will be the reverse cube, running it off the number 6. So let's see what it looks like before I go, because I'm interested myself to see what it does. So the Fibonacci code would be 3 and 3 equaling to 6, and 3 equaling to 9, and 6 equaling to 15, equaling to 15. 1 and 5 equals to 6. Then plus 9 equals to 15 equals to 6. 9 plus, let me see, 6 plus 3 equals to 9. 9 plus 6 equals to 15. 1 plus 5 equals to 6. So 6 plus 9, I'm just trying to go. So I got 9, and then I added the 6. So I got 6. And do I add the 9 now? Yeah, yes, and I add the 9 here. So I add the 9 here. So 9 and 6 is 15. 1 and 5 is 6. So what's the next one? I just keep getting mixed up. I did these two. I equal this one. So I add this one and this one over here equals to this one. So since I did that one, I have to do this one here. And the answer is this one over here, and then this one over here. This was the answer here. I added that, this one over here, and that is over here. And then this one over here, and then this one over here. So that means 6 and 6 equals to 12. 1 and 2 equals to 3, and 6 equals to 9, and 3 equals to 12. So anyways, it gets a little confusing, right? But all you're going to ever see is 3, 6, and 9. Once you invert the 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 4, 3, 7, 1, 8, 9, 8, 8, 7, 6, 4, 1, 5, 6, 2, 8, 1, 9, 1, 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Yeah, so 24. It's 24, and to restart, it's 25. The X and the Y chromosome, if you want to look at it that way. But the thing is, it didn't encompass itself. See the way it ends? I didn't encompass it. I need to have it again. So I'm going to have to go through the 3 and 4 cycle again to encompass these numbers. So now if I did it with 3, Remember, I did it with 3 over here. Now, if I did it with 6, right? 6 and 6 equals to 12. I'm just going to work myself further up on this chart over here. So this jumps into the game further down. So, yeah, okay. Okay, so let me tell you one thing. Wherever it is, I'm tired. What's going on, my friends, is shocking throughout this entire planet. How people can be fighting people. Why are people fighting people? Why are people fighting people? Why are people mean to people? Why? This made me sick all my life. Not because I'm the nicest guy in the world sometimes. Why are people fighting people? Very sad. Starving people. They starve them. This is just like TV, sci-fi. But we are love, and everybody knows that should I do it that way? No. When you have a heart and you want to have another heart, then there, that's what it is. So what you actually had is you have this heart here. And then what you did is you had this heart here. So in between you, this was here, and this is here. And then here is what brings you together. And when you get old, you're going to use it to walk with. But while you're still here and you want to find someone to walk with and share your mind and all your heart, then you put it together this way. And this is where 2 hearts, 52 and 52, 104 communication, the 1st of the 4th, the 10th of the 4th. That is what communication is. Raphael, thank you for watching this video. Just know the truth wins. Follow your heart. Follow your heart. Don't cheat anybody. Don't let anybody cheat you. Thank you for watching this video. Peace and love.